All right, so this video here pretty much covers supply and demand style trading to anyone that's new and watching today's video. This is how I pretty much, was able to gross or make $1,400 on a day minus commissions. And you could do this from the comfortability of your own home. I have a workspace, home office that I work from. And I recommend and encourage each and every person to find their own quiet spot, whether it be in their home or some establishment somewhere, wherever that may be at, but some little cubicle area that you can block off and make your own so that you can focus in and be able to read the market correctly. If you have a lot of distraction and noise in the background, or, you want to be able to get to a quiet place so that you can think, and make sure you're taking great setups. All right. First and foremost, we always talk about here on this channel is what market structure, because it is extremely important. That allows us to do what? Determine the direction of the market. Are we looking for bearish, pulls to, go short, or bullish market sentiment to where we can go long? For me today, and look at the market. Of course, I can see, excuse all the little mess I have on here, just little markups that I like to go back and review my charts, and I recommend people doing that. But movements to the downside. We've been making lower lows and lower highs. I like to see, and always talk about, I must see a breaker structure at a place in which I'm interested in taking a trade from. So since we've been, making lower lows and lower highs to the downside, breaking structure, leading up into today's session, then I'm still interested in going long. The ultimate pattern in which I talk about, in many videos, is where I want to see the market do something like this. If we're coming from the downside, doing this, and then where it makes a higher low, where it's not breaking the previous low, and then it breaks structure to the upside. So we're taking out this area, this high right here, and this high over here. So it's an inverted head and shoulder type pattern. Okay, when we're coming from a bearish direction to back to a bullish direction. When I see that, back to the upside, then that kind of allows my mind to shift from looking for bearish opportunities to more so bullish opportunities, and the inverse of if we're coming from the upside, moving lower. So hopefully that makes sense to a lot of you out there. Now, again, since we are, bearish to the downside, then I'm looking for, opportunities to go short once again. So, but in today's market conditions this morning, we made this higher low shortly after the market opened up, and then we pushed up right here. As you can see here, we did a slight structure break or minor break to the upside. Now, I'm not 100% sold that this was a complete break to the upside, because we didn't get a full on close of a candle higher. So this is typically not, to me, an actual higher high where the market actually broke structure. Yes, we did break with a minor area of structure to the upside, but I'm not sold 100% that we're actually moving higher, okay? Because they could actually come back down and start, breaking structure below this area here. This is a major low right here that it came off of. So it made a higher low, okay? Didn't break this low here yet. Come up slightly, break above this area of structure here. But if you look, we still haven't made that pattern, okay? This would be like, all right, the first bullish move to the upside in a sense, but we didn't break any structure to the left-hand side. So I'm not sold that it's a full-on reversal happening yet, which will allow me to look for, from a bearish standpoint to a bullish standpoint. And yes, we did pull back, okay? Made another higher low, and then we broke structure back to broke structure above. At this point, above these highs right here, okay, we actually broke and closed with a candle above that. So we're that's a breaker structure to the upside, okay? So still, we are in a little bullish channel to the, not regression, sorry about that, trend channel, to the upside right here, okay? But we ultimately are we're still bearish in a sense, even though the higher base chart, we are bullish on it yet, but I still haven't seen that reversal yet. So this is the purpose and the reason why I took shorts today. I was looking for rejection. Even though we slightly broke this area here, the market, as I said before, wasn't really showing me at this point that it was still, wanting to push higher. So when it just slightly broke above this area here, I wasn't 100%, like I said, so that we were going higher. So I look for opportunity to go short, coming back down to the downside. So I end up taking a scalping for a very short little position here. I think it's about 9-10 points right up in this area here. I'm going to be breaking these trades down to anyone who is a elite channel supporter. I'll be breaking my trades down today, which I like to do for that group, which is a private community. Anyone interested, the link is down in the description portion of the video. It's only $6.99, but that's where I go into great detail about the trade breakdowns. And again, I'll be covering these today to that group. Again, the link is down in the description portion of the video, right below the Discord. The Discord is free. The link is there. Below that is the elite channel supporter group or link for that group. Click on that. Once you click on it, you'll see two tiers pop up. The second tier is the one you want to choose for $6.99. That's going to give you direct access to tons of trade breakdown videos where I break down the strategy for each one of these trades in great detail, talking about stop loss placement, profit target areas, structure the market, all the goods, the meat and potatoes to, the strategy as a whole. And then I also took a trade right here, as you can see, right here coming to the downside. This one I actually posted over on the Discord community, so I'll be breaking this one down today as well. But it doesn't take a lot to be able to scalp these markets and pick up, a minimum of $500 a day. Okay, you can do so. It doesn't take much to be able to do that. And on this trade that I took right here, the one that I posted over the Discord, I closed out 17 points to the downside, and then I had two contracts on. I let my last contract run, basically trail to pick up, additional points. And that's one thing, if you get into a solid trade, if you're on with multiple contracts, you'll be able to close most of your position out. Once maybe you have a risk reward of 1-1, 1-2, whatever it may be, close most of your positions out, or whatever your profit target area is. And I talk about that in videos, in which I will talk about today on these trades here, what I was looking at once I got into the trade as far as where I wanted to take profit at. But what I'm trying to say is that once you've met your first goal, close most of your positions out, and then maybe leave the last contract as a runner. So again, I'll be breaking those down to all the elite channel supporters. Thank you for anyone and everyone that supports my efforts as not only a trader, but as a content creator as well. I'm providing loads and valuable information that has helped many individuals and continues on a daily. Now, I'm not, telling anyone to follow exactly how I trade. You can take what I'm showing, the strategy, twist it, make it your own. Maybe possibly, not say merge it in with anything else, because I don't recommend, kind of like bringing multiple things into the fold. But because trading, you should make it as simple as possible. The way I learned to trade was, once I understood market structure, was really I tied in, with a naked chart. I didn't have a load of indicators in my charts. Because that's what you want to do. You want to be able to understand and read the market, but also be able to understand price action, once you figure out the direction of the market, because price action is just as important. And that's where I went back to and looked at a naked chart, nothing on it, no indicators, and then I was able to just kind of follow the market with my own eyes. And that's where I gained the true on experience that really helped me. And that's when I started bringing supply and demand to the fold, because to me, I truly honestly feel supply and demand is one of the best strategies to actually trade. And some people trade a little bit different as far as how they enter and exit the market, and maybe, the things they may use inclusion of. But outside of that, I like to keep things in my trading very simple. And I talk about that a lot here on the channel. So if you're a first-time viewer, please spend some time watching the channel as a whole. Now, again, I've already kind of told you that because we were bearish to the downside, the number one thing you want to be able to do is identify the structure of the market. I saw some people had this area right here, this zone right here marked up. This is a valid or decent supply zone right here off the higher base chart. I trade range based charts. So, and it doesn't matter if you trade whatever you trade, a tick, volume, time base. You want to be able to identify the sentiment, the direction of the market, and get that right first. Then start, so for example, if we're bearish, look for opportunities, in this case here, to pull back to key areas of supply on your higher base chart. And the way I like to trade it is trading, marking up a higher base chart because we're bearish at a supply zone. And then I'll move down to my lower base chart, 24 range, to see if there is a more redefined zone on my 24 range chart. That's my entry chart. To see if there's a 24 range supply zone resting on the inside of this larger 120 range chart. If there is, and I get the reaction or rejection at that zone, then I will take a shot going short, okay? But I talk about other things that you need to be mindful of just as well. So if the market pulls back here, and let's say there's a 24 range supply zone right here, but we have one resting above it, you want to be very, very mindful, especially if there's gaps resting back at that a zone above the lower zone. The market, you gotta be very, very, you gotta think very smart. The market may want to come up and test that area. So if you scalp that lower base zone, just understand you may end up becoming liquidity because the market may still be trying to push higher and take out a higher base zone. I talked about that in tons of videos, so just be mindful of that. But as you can see here, the market is so far, I mean, we are breaking structure, okay, but we haven't really showed a full-on sign of a reversal to me. So to me, this could be just pullbacks for the market going higher, okay, for a short period of time. But overall, we're still bearish in my mindset, the way I look at the market. And we could come down here and break this major low. If we break this, then we got a beautiful structure break to the downside where it broke this low, minor structure, this low, minor structure, and this being a major area structure. Even though we're in this bullish channel to the upside on the 24 range, the 120 range. If we break below this point here, then we are still bullish, and it's going to show its hand that we are still bullish. And once we break this, I would be looking for a pullback. Let's say we break this area here at 20,694. I would be looking for a pullback to either right here or definitely so up in this area right here. Okay. All right. So definitely this area here, this is a supply zone, but this is a supply zone. The market came down and would have broke below this area structure if it does. Now it could pull back and then it could come back down again and then finally break this area structure. So we'll see what happens here. But again, if the market breaks this major low here, I'll be looking for a pullback. Maybe here. It just depends on what the market does right now. Is it going to make another pullback here and then, make another swing to the downside? Then you can have a area of, supply resting up in here. So don't know 100% quite yet, but we'll wait and see what takes place here. But yeah, I mean, you could do this from from whatever environment, a laptop, desktop, but create your own, especially if you're trying to work from home and you choose to be your own employer. And yes, we're into a new year and people every single year, some people are retiring, some people are looking into new professions to get into. It's a great opportunity, but there's a lot of risks that are involved in trading. I will say that right now. I like trading the equities, the Nasdaq and the ES, and you have the Russell and the Dow. You have to choose your own choice of markets or instruments to actually trade. I also talk about here on the channel tons of videos, because I use NinjaTrader 8 as the trading platform. My broker is AMP Futures. I've made plenty of content and video content surrounding that, so watch some of those videos as well. But if you're really interested in understanding the full-on strategy, please spend time watching the videos, because I pretty much break down the strategy, or at least give a lot of free information here on the public side of the channel. To if you just spend time watching the video content, you probably will be able to pick up things. But those that are elite channel supporters, they actually get more inside information to really breaking the trades down, so they can understand the trade setups themselves. It's one thing to be able to understand the strategy, but you also got to understand the setups to be able to identify and look for those same type of plays or trade setups. Okay, that's why for a very inexpensive $6.99 to anyone that's interested, you get that information, tons of trade breakdown videos, video playlists, and again that great video that I covered on market structure, because again, market structure is king to everything. Understand that. You would not find success unless you understand how to read the market the correct way. I'm telling you this for a reason, because it wasn't until then till I found my own success in doing so. I struggled for a few years before I was able to truly be able to read the market. Having a strategy is one thing, and you may get lucky a few times, but then you may get smacked on the hand real hard, and you may be thinking to yourself, that's when the frustration sets in, because you're trying to figure out, well, I was, understood the strategy. I took the trade, but did you get the overall direction of the market correct is what I'm really trying to say here. So again, it doesn't matter if you're looking to make $250 on the day, to grow and compound your small account, $500 or even $1,000 plus. You can do this, but you're going to have to take time, okay? And for all those that have, less amounts of capital to be able to trade with, you can still do it, all right? It's just I'm recommend, and I always tell people, especially anyone that reaches out to me and say, hey, I'm a beginner trader, what do you recommend, or how much should I start with? Or I don't like to place a dollar amount to anyone and tell them, because it's up to you. You have to make that discretion and make that own decision yourself as far as how much capital you're looking to start with, okay? But I will tell you this: if you have less funds and a smaller amount of capital to be able to start with, definitely, and to any beginner out there, the micros, okay? There are micro future instruments or contracts you can trade, which were not available when I first started, and they're a great opportunity for the beginner trader. I shouldn't say that with a T, but a beginner trader is what I should have said. All right, so outside of that, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, anyone that's interested in becoming an elite channel supporter and gaining access to the private community for just $6.99 a month, again, because that's like a price of a cup of coffee, and probably less than what most of you guys pay for a cup of coffee a day, a lunch sandwich or a meal on the day. We're talking about that small amount of fee for a whole month. All right, if it doesn't work for you, then again, you don't have to continue forward, right? You just move on. All right, so I don't have a trading course or program or a mentorship program, because I give a lot of this information out here and I put it public here on the channel. But again, that elite channel supporter group is where you receive more insightful information for all those that choose or want the information, okay? Outside of that, I appreciate it. If you're not a current subscriber, please take the time to go ahead and sub by clicking on the subscribe button down below. Make sure to turn your post notifications on. This was just a rundown today, let you know what I was thinking, what I saw in the markets today. Anyone that took a trade up in this area here was able to get into a trade, took a decent trade, going back to the downside. I will say that right now. But yeah, that's all I have. If you do me the biggest favor and you found value in today's video content, please drop a like on the video. It really helps the channel to get pushed out so that other individuals can, gain access to the type of material they're looking for. So someone out there may be trying to question or query the same type of information that you are on a daily basis. And what happens is when, the algorithm or the gains hold of certain video content, it likes to put it in front of people. So please, if you found value in today's video, make sure before you leave the video today to drop a like on the video by clicking on the thumbs up button. Take care. I'll see everyone in the next one. And again, if you're an elite channel supporter, today I will be dropping that video over on the private side of the community to all those who are members. Take care. See you in the next one.